Let's get this show on the road. This is the FA Podcast, the show that takes a closer look at your internet history. My name is Manuel, and I call my junk the Dongo. That's what I call my junk. It's a fire-breathing monster that swallows bombs. Wait, what am I saying?
That's just him. That's just him. He does not speak for the rest of us. We're sorry.
Yeah, joining me as always, it's my Octorok friend.
What'd you call me?
You're an Octorok. Those fucking things that spit out rocks.
You're gonna mail me in like this, huh? You're gonna do that.
Yeah, you Octorok. What's up, cat soup? Or should I say Octorok soup? I'm so hungry, I can eat an Octorok. I don't know if he said. I don't know if that's the line, but
do you know what I don't.
Do you know what the line is, Weston? Because that's a very famous YouTube poop line from like the old CDI games. I forget what he's hungry enough to eat. There's a line where he's like, I'm so hungry, I can eat I think it's a Dodongo egg, actually. But Weston,
God,
what's up?
Zelda CT, this, what do you call it? From the old, the pixelated Zelda. Is that what you're talking about? That one?
I'm so hungry, I could... By the way, it is I'm so hungry I can eat an Octorok. I just looked at the line right now. Gotcha. But up above that line on Google is I'm so hungry I could eat an Arby's. Is that a meme? I don't know.
Oh, is that no? Is that the nihilist Arby's thing where it's like Arby's, that's when you're here, your family has diabetes or something like that.
Oh my god!
I thought that was Olive Garden.
That was Olive Garden. Yes, my bad. What? Same context.
No, but FYI, apparently that's above. What I love, I don't know if it's just my search history or whatever, Google's knowing me, but it starts at I'm so hungry I can eat an Arby's, then it's eat an Octorok, and then it's I could eat a horse. And do people still say eat a horse ever? That was like the slang that was like boomer slang when I was a kid.
Not anymore. It's probably something else. Like no one knows.
Probably something electrical.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said that in my life, and I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it since I was a kid. Even the boomers who I like, my family members who said it when I was a kid, stopped saying it. So it's like what?
It's old hat. Even the term old hat is like
yes.
Not even a term that anyone uses anymore.
By the way, the next one after that is I'm so hungry I could eat a wagon wheel.
Oh, what?
Wagon wheel?
How old is that?
I don't know.
Just get yourself even more boomer. Like seriously.
I know. Oh my god, I'm so hungry. I could eat a grown man's. That's actually the next one.
Our guest for this evening.
Weston, go ahead and introduce yourself. Sorry, I'm eating thing. I'm eating a grown man's Octorok.
Hey, what's up? My name is Wes. I'm now officially a Triple Crown of AJ since this is.
Oh yeah, you've been on everything.
I've been on all three of them.
Yeah.
Triple Crown.
Nice.
Plus, I ate Burger King earlier, so I'm full of Crown.
Yeah, I don't think there is another triple. I think you're the first, besides me, of course. But there is no other Triple Crown. Yeah, because I'm like,
what? No, wait, no.
Oh, Leslie was the first.
I was gonna say one of the females did.
Yeah, Leslie was the first, but nobody else was. Danny hasn't been on UPZ, and so hasn't other. Snakz hasn't been on. Actually, Snakz hasn't been on DTL and so on. But yeah, and Jordan, you should be on DTL one day. But anyways,
you never invite me.
I never invite you to anything. I never invite you to play D&D with us either.
Things and you never invite me.
What's funny?
You, let me know.
What's funny is that I was trying to get you into the D&D thing. I kept telling everyone, including you, if you remember. I did try to tell you about we could just because the whole thing was that even in universe of the game, there's like a minor time skip to justify why we stopped playing for like 6 months. And I'm like, look, we can include Jordan now. We'd just be like, oh, we found our friend Jordan down here, or whoever your character is, and no one took me up on that. So I'm like, okay, guess nobody wants to play with Jordan. Never mind.
That's fine. I
didn't get invited. Where's my invite?
I feel bad. No one likes you, Jordan. I hate for you to have to find out this way.
No, that's fine. I didn't want to be part of your dumb D&D session anyway with all your filthy rolls.
Fuck your clique.
I don't want to play with you, Manuel, especially. God.
Damn boomer clique. Fuck.
So what are we doing today, Manuel? What are we talking about?
Today we're talking about a lot of nonsense. We're gonna do some relationship advice. We have all of our recommendations up again. We're talking about JRV actress of the week, our Edo Game of the week, and Edo Game Manga of the week. we might bring up some shit like the fact that this is a con weekend in the perfect universe, which we're not in right now. And a bunch of other shit. Like at some point we can do the Around the Ecchi Internet again. And obviously Jordan will be drawing something right now. I'm not sure if anyone's in the chat right now. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and comment what you want us to draw, and then see if you were right.
Just go on YouTube and comment to draw.
No, I did a thing. I did a thing on one of the UPZs a while. I did it again on the most recent one, but I did a thing on a UPZ a long time ago, like about 6 months ago, where I was like, if you hit the like button, it'll save their life because somebody disappeared and they came back. I was just being very dramatic, like doing that thing, and it worked. People actually, that one had like the craziest, like, okay, by crazy I mean it had like over a dozen, which is still a lot for like the amount of views we get. We only get a couple hundred in each episode. But still, it had all these likes. And I'm like, do call to actions work? Apparently they do. So comment below what you want us to draw, and if we didn't draw it, you could just comment again and yell at us, and then you could dislike the video because secret sauce dislikes still count as interaction. So you're still helping us out by disliking it too, believe it or not. And yeah,
that's a YouTube algorithm right there.
Exactly. Like, even if you hate something, you still interacted with it. That's a little piece of secret sauce right there. I know I use that same analogy twice right there. But if you ever
talking about today,
if you ever see something you don't like on social media, the best thing to do is to ignore it. Like, literally ignore it. Because if you do anything interacting wise with it, you fucked yourself over. Because now they're gonna be like, oh, this gets their goat up, so we're gonna show more of it. Anyways, guys, comment below what you want to draw, chat, whatever. I'm opening the chat right now. Hey, Mr. Taku. Oh, you subscribed. Thank you for the sub, Mr. Taku.
Thank you.
I'll take a shot for you tomorrow on DTL. Usually I would have done one now, but I didn't prepare any drinks. Believe it or not, I decided not to drink today because I napped before, and when I came to, I'm like, I feel so rested. I was like, if I start drinking, I'm gonna kill it a bit, and then I'm gonna take a nap afterwards. And I want to drink tonight, so I just don't want to kill it, like early. I don't want to kill my. I'm gonna, I'm gonna be messaging you some bullshit in a couple hours.
And then you're gonna delete it, and then we're gonna have a fucking tirade of you deleting.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
I don't think I've ever done that to you, Jordan. By the way, but that's one of my drunk things. I send people a lot of messages and I delete them.
No, exactly. You've deleted so many, and I'm like,
is that with you? It's hilarious.
It's like an achievement.
Yeah, it's funny. Callie used to brag about it for the longest time that I've never done it to her, and then I did it to her like 2 weeks ago for the first time ever. She was so mad. She was like, "You're fucking annoying, man." And then, of course, the next day was DTL, so you better believe she brought that up when like we were live and shit. So yeah. She was mad. She was mad at me, and I'm like, I did it because there's two levels of it. Like, usually I'll just delete a message or two, but there are some people when I'm talking to them, I've said this before. Sorry, I'll say this really fast. I'll send them messages, and then I'll wait an hour later and I'll send them more messages. Then like an hour later, I'll send them more messages. So you'll see like there's like clumps of messages. Clearly, it was a night's worth of messages, and then I'll delete them all. There's like 15 messages across and I did it to Callie, where it was like, it wasn't just like one or two in a little, I responded to it and deleted it. I had a whole stream of consciousness that I deleted them all. And before you ask, I don't know what I delete. Like, some people have told me like it's just bullshit, like like memes or like.
But I feel like you do add like some text, and like if you ever delete things, like I'll just see a particular like thing. It says like, I can't believe you did this to me, and then the next thing was deleted, and then like you just forget to delete something. I'm just like, what? Well, can't believe what? I don't know. Like, so I can't believe it either.
The first piece of relationship advice I give is to bear with someone's bullshit, and that goes in any relationship.
It doesn't even have to be a relationship like, between you and your significant other. It's just like how we are with Manuel right now. Just don't deal with this bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
fighting again.
Mom and Dad are fighting. What is Zelda? So if no, wait, I actually wrote something in the thing in case nobody had any idea. Mr. Chalk, if you're there, you could let us know what you want us to draw in relationship theme or in like Zelda in Mega Man theme. What did I write in here? Yeah, by the way, if you never watched the show before, we also draw things where we talk about ecchi things. This is the educational show where we talk about flapping in what I call my junk tit this week. I call it the dongo, because I'll shut up now. Actually, I actually had a thing to go on, but I'm like, I'll just stop right there.
And
yeah,
fact,
just
don't
stop
even
right
put a
there.
pin. Let's just burn it.
Don't burn my junk.
We don't need it. It's not important. We're doing the world a favor.
If you burn your junk, it'll be a fireball. So
no, who's that guy? Was it Rat? I think it was Rat. There's a band that like used to put like they used to light they have a cod piece of course, but they would light their junk on fire, like they put fireworks down there, and then one day it caught on fire, and I think it was behind the music, and the singer was he's like yeah, it's like I swear I almost lost it all right there, like with the fucking stage gimmick. He's like, and I'm sitting there in backstage. The guys are like, you okay? And I'm just sitting there mad, upset, and I'm like, if we wrote better music, we wouldn't have to do shit like this.
Hey, that's right. Hey, he's right. He's right.
He's right. He's so right. And you gotta love that he said that himself. He's like, if we wrote better music, we wouldn't have to do shit like this.
Yeah, but now he performs at Carnegie Hall.
The moment of clarity. But yeah, draw something. I put draw something medieval. You kind of are.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the stream.
Draw something else medieval, but sexy.
Draw medieval cock.
Sexy
medieval cock. Draw sexy medieval cock, and by that I mean like, yes, chicken boo.
Yeah.
What even? Whatever. I'll figure it out.
Does anyone remember chicken boo? I always bring up chicken boo in like certain panels because. I won't actually. I will go quickly into it because it had to do with the Edogudo thing we did before. I bring up Chicken Boo for the Edogudo panel, and nobody ever seems to know who Chicken Boo is, and it pisses me off because Animaniacs is brought back, guys.
Oh, that's
everyone should know. Yeah, Chicken Boo's from Animaniacs. Thank you.
He's like the other chicken do.
I don't remember that. I don't remember.
If anyone everyone just seems to remember that. Like I'm like, hello, Animaniacs wasn't just about those three, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. And it had Pinky the Brains there.
It should be current now because they made a new episode.
Slappy,
so.
Slappy the squirrel.
Yeah,
what was
Slappy the squirrel and the young one. Oh God.
Skippy. I think it's Skippy.
That's his name.
I think so.
Yeah, Skippy. Yeah.
And then the chicken. This is more than these ones, but then there's Chicken Boo. And there's the good pigeons. I think it is the
good pigeons, the
good fellas ref. Yeah, but they're like, yeah, but am I a joke to you? Whatever, they start fighting. Yeah. Anyways.
No, it's all about the sexy squirrel on that show. She's hot.
What sexy squirrel?
The Minerva Mink.
Oh, you're right. I'm not gonna. I mean, I thought you meant like the nurse. I'm like the nurse is human, but like, hello, nurse.
And that's where we got Fury Heat.
Huh?
And that's where the Fury came.
That's when my love for Nurse Joy started. Then I'm just kidding. I never had. I don't think surprisingly I never had those crushes. I remember Minerva, and but I think I mentioned before. Like I guess that was after my brief tinge with like furry cartoon stuff because my thing was Gadget, and that was many years before when I was much younger. But Gadget as in from Chip and Dale.
From
Chippendale. Yeah, the
Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, with the fucking the jumpsuit. She had like a jumpsuit, and she's a mouse, I think, because everyone else is like, yeah, she's a mouse. But yeah, and yeah, she was pretty hot. I'm gonna go out and say it. I would fuck that mouse.
Hey man, just to each their own. And like, I'm not gonna judge you out loud.
I'm actually like on my own real fast gonna look up if Gadget has any.
She does. I told you this before. I told you to Google it, and you find it like in 5 seconds.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a lot. There's just one where like it's just like she's like, what is this? Gadget, you're not wearing pants. None of us wear pants.
Oh, that's the Robot Chicken skit. Yeah,
but what's funny is that she does wear pants in the show though, so that doesn't make.
Where's the jumpsuit?
Yeah, the jumpsuit covers everything, but yeah, in this drawing she isn't. There's a lot of them where they give her like really big titties, which I guess is fine, but I'm like that's not on model, guys.
Dude, she's a fictional character. It doesn't.
That's not on model. Why is there JV mixed in?
Not on model.
I typed in Gadget Rule 34, by the way, but there's a picture of an actual JAV actress. I think I know who this is. Anyways, and now I found out who Toby Tanaka picture. Who's linking this shit? Anyways, guys, we're gonna move on to bad relationship advice. I guess we're drawn to the medieval cock, and we're moving on to relationship advice. The way this is going, we're going to give normal advice, but we're gonna give it bad, and we're gonna give it neither of you, I think, watched it when we did a similar topic on UPZ, and the idea is we're definitely gonna keep it somewhat real, but the whole thing is we're gonna give it with a tinge of comedy and humor. We're not gonna be all like, yeah. And interspersed in between, because I'm not drunk, we might keep it a little. We might give you some actual advice that you can carry, but carry and use. But I want to point out that anything you do with any advice we give you is your own damn fault. So yeah,
it's your own accord, and we do not encourage it. We just give it a word of advice.
So in order to do this, I was originally gonna curate this. But then I went to r/relationship advice, and I'm like, I don't need to curate this. It's all just so insane. No, obviously we're not going to get anything too heavy or dark here, but just some of the most recent top ones. So my boyfriend asked me. By the way, yeah, they're both 19 apparently. If he could fuck my friend while I watch.
Depends if the friend is a boy or girl, though.
You know, of all because the details do say 19 male and she's 19 female. That because it shows that there, but it does not specify. I was with my BF and he randomly asked if it was okay, if I was okay with watching him fuck one of my closest friends while I watched. I'm not sure what to say. I've never really thought of it before.
Well.
I feel like there's so much missing information there. Not only what, huh?
It's really hard to I don't know what they're about or.
The first obvious question is the other girl, presumably girl, because it doesn't say if it's a girl or a guy. Actually, good point, Wes, for bringing that up. The other person, are they into this? Like, has the boyfriend and the other person discussed this before? Like, hey, I want to fuck you. I want to fuck you too. Let's go ask so and so, And now we're at the stage. Because if that's not the case, that kind of makes it weirder, don't you think?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you should find something that has a little bit more meat to it. But consent, always consent. Really
consent is the number one.
Don't feel like you should be forced to do something that you're uncomfortable with. It's okay to say no, and people have different reactions to it, but don't force yourself to do something that you really aren't confident in doing, or feel like you can, that your yes or no's are confident, So just be good. Be careful.
There is an update, and the update doesn't tell you whether they did it or not. Obviously, it's not that good of an update. Yeah. But I'm still not 100% sure about it. But would there be any way to test how I feel about it before actually trying it?
Any way to test how to feel about it?
How do you test that?
You can.
Maybe have him masturbate to something else and you watch. That's a whole different thing, I think.
Well, the only way to go about something like that is if I don't know. That's such an odd question to ask. There's so many things that one I don't even know too much about, and so it's hard to give a proper answer. The only thing I can just say is just what I said. Listen, don't go into it if you really feel like you have to have some questions about. If anything, if you guys feel like you guys can keep your relationship going, you should also have the same option to try explore with other guys too, or whoever you like, and then move on from there, or guys, girls, whatever, and see if you're comfortable with the idea of you both dating or being with each other and also dating other people on the side kind of thing. Not just go straight into doing it, but that bit. That's my interpretation of it.
My hot take bit on open relationships, by the way. And I know this is mad jumping off into another point. But I feel like I'll never say this anywhere else. And I think I brought it up in a UPZ one time, no, in DTL, and I think I upset everyone who was on, and I'm just gonna say it again. Because yeah. But it was a very old DTL too, and I think I was drunk and I said it a bit more, not a bit more, like, you can't really say this unbluntly, but I've known a lot of people who are like, you know, poly and whatnot. And in my life, I remember why I brought it up. It wasn't even a DTL, it was a UPZ, and I brought it up in light of the whole Pro Jared thing. Now that's a topic for a whole nother day, because there's it's like a very long story, because then there's a story of what happened.
Bring it up, just keep moving.
And then there's a story about like how it turned out to like not be what you think, but nobody cared about the second half of the story. But TLDR, it started through like, and obviously there's more to the story. I'm not gonna go too much details, but he was in a polyamorous relationship, and that kind of like created a lot of nonsense. And I thought, and then of course once it became revealed that it was a poly relationship, because she didn't say that initially, but once it was revealed as a poly relationship, everyone kind of dropped it, and that's why you never saw the second half of the story. But what's funny is that I thought it was kind of case in point to something I've always said, and I shouldn't say I always said, but like I've always noticed personally. I'm not saying that poly relationships don't work for at all. But in my experience, for everyone I've seen, and I know quite a few people who are in them and have been in them, they've never worked. There's always a point, always, it never fails, ever, where one of them decides that they want to be with the other person more. Or something, or somebody gets jealous of the other person. It's like, break that off. It's like, no. You know, we're poly, and it's like, I know that goes back to what Jordan said earlier about, like, you know, boundaries, respect, you know, limits and all that good stuff, but which is all valid. I'm not saying that, you know, don't respect those, but I'm just saying, like, in my experience, I should say my experience, but from what I've seen, they're always doomed to failure. So my point to bringing that up to relationship to this is I just feel like you're going down a slippery slope. Maybe that's just me overthinking it.
Yeah, it also depends on what you want out of the relationship too.
Yeah, if you just want to have fun and you know, and that's valid too. If you want to just have fun and, you know,
you both
experience multiple things.
You both have to like understand what you guys want out of it. Don't just like go into it thinking, you know, don't go into it like making assumptions like of certain things. That is not to say like don't overthink something. Make sure that what you're, you know, just think about the premise of it and just be like, oh, okay, it's like, is this what I want? Is this what's best for, you know, us or me? You know, that kind of stuff.
It's a thing. So always be wary. Not be wary. Always be. And if you don't believe me, go check in on your poly friends. I'm gonna throw it out there.
Just because be critical on your wants, on your needs, or
that is
what
true.
You want. Yeah.
And anyways, let's circle back around to another one. Now this is a funny one. My 29-year-old boyfriend. Wait.
At IKEA.
Hold on. Why? Oh, okay. She's 29 female. Sorry. She's 29 female. Boyfriend's 26 male. Sorry, because she worded this badly. Her boyfriend said my showering habits are a deal breaker. Now, that's kind of a long thing, so I'm gonna just read you the quick version. Basically, she's a shower every other day person. He's a shower every day. I mean, he's a shower every day person, and she's a shower every other day person. Mm-hmm. And she's also a shower. She's also a wash your hair every couple days person. And not presumably, she says here that he basically wants her to like kick that up a notch, so to speak, and like, you know, go every day on both, I guess.
Mm. Oh, that's it. That's it.
No, wait, there's more. So I was waiting. I thought you were going to say something there. I think you were going to say something there. Sorry.
I was just saying, yeah, go on.
So that's the short version. But since Tuesday, he told me, but by the way, this Tuesday doesn't matter. He told me it's a deal breaker that as a woman, I should do better. That's a direct quote, apparently. She put that in quotes. And I honestly do not understand the issue here. Am I gross? Should I shower every day? Is this really that big of a deal?
If I were in the guy's shoes and I asked that, you know, she kind of do more for her hygiene, and, you know, depending on like what she says and all that stuff. I mean, it also depends on how bad it is. Like, that she doesn't, is it just because that she doesn't take a shower that day and like he can't like deal with it, or is it like, is she not taking a shower and like he's just smelling this raunchiness around the house and he knows it's coming from her kind of deal?
That's mean. Like the details don't say, and I can't find, this one doesn't have an update. This is actually really new. This is from a few hours ago. So I guess the Tuesday, by the way, was like 3 days ago. But So this one doesn't have an update yet, but like you said, my first reaction if like that would happen the other way around, I'm like, wait, do I smell? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
the obvious assumption, yeah.
Because like, I don't think he would say anything otherwise.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's some details missing here. Like, does he tell his friends who don't shower but every day, like, hey, you guys start showering every day, or like, you know, but if he's telling you specifically and they're living together, I think he's trying to like, obviously he's probably going about this way too like, you know, heavy-handedly. That like, hey, I think you stink a little, you know.
I mean, it's not that hard to hint out. I was like, you know what, I usually shower every day because this body is usually dirty because of whatever I do, and then hint it to where it's like, you know what, maybe you can do the same thing as well, or just breakily say, hey, can we talk about some hygienes that we both have and discuss about it? But if you're just gonna be back like Catsup said, if you're gonna be a backhanded about it, it's like, okay, then you're what do you call it? You sound like a germaphobe or a cleanphobe type of person about it.
Well, it also depends too. Like, how long have they been in this relationship? And it was
6 years. I skipped that detail. It's 6 years. So I really think the fact that it came out so bluntly is probably because like this dude just has been hiding it for 6 years.
Yeah. And he's like, oh man, I can probably work with this. Like, it's fine. It doesn't seem too bad. But maybe it's like just gotten, you know, bad to this point where it's like yeah, like her hygiene issues are not a good thing, and it like I said, it really all just depends on how they you know, interact with each other. You know, well, why didn't, you know, they manage to figure this out instead of going to Reddit to like be like, oh yeah, it's like what's going on here? It's like why don't you want to like take a shower kind of thing? Like, that's a communication thing for sure. But in my opinion, it would kind of be a deal breaker if like she started smelling and then she started complaining. It's like, what, you don't like my smell kind of thing. It's like, yeah, it doesn't seem healthy or hygienic to be smelling like that.
Yuji has the best thing in the chat. Yuji's all like, hey, like, be like, hey yo, I'm bored, let's shower together.
Oh, that would have convinced anybody.
That would work. It's like, hey, yeah,
I'm bored. Not even like good times with each other. It's just like, hey, let's just take a shower. You feeling that? You feeling that?
Yeah, feeling that? Come on, let's go. Here's some soap.
We need to do that. We need to do that at Conroy. Hey, Manuel, we're bored. Let's go to the shower. Everyone, let's jump in the shower. Funny you bring that up,
because like, I'm a pretty sweaty person, you know. I'm not, you know, I'm pretty, and like also like some of the shit I'm pretty sure I'm covered with like, you know, alcohol. It smells disgusting some mornings. I always shower every day at Con. But the reason I bring that up is so many times, like there's been not so many times, I don't see it happen a ton of times. Like every so often I wake up and like I get up, I start going around and like
start smelling
Q. No, I remember Q. Well, first of all, I mean honestly, most people could kind of smell themselves. It's just like, is that me? It's like, ah, shit, that's me. You know?
Yeah, but, I got that feeling. Yeah.
But every so often when I'm waiting for the shower, like every so often, like Q will be like, okay, man, you go next. You stink. I'm like, hey, fair. Yeah, it's like fair. It's like, so my point to bringing that up is like, just be real about these things sometimes. It's like, they're like, one shouldn't be offended by these things. It's a thing that happens to everyone.
It's a hygiene issue too, and
yeah.
You know, if the guy says it's a deal breaker, he's probably been with her for 6 years, and they probably at one point had to talk about something like that.
Yeah, I feel like he had like, I don't know, because there's very little details. She hasn't updated it, but like, surely he hinted at this before.
Yeah, it's a, you know, like I said, it could be anything. Communication issue, could just be like, you know, something happened, and you know that's why she's doing that. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And if she hasn't like brought any of those points up, it's really hard to say like, oh, it's like what's going on, kind of thing. Other than, but like in my own opinion, if the girl smells and like there's nothing else that's like, you know, impeding her from using the bathroom every day to make sure that she's clean, then that is kind of like a deal breaker for me. I don't think I can manage that, like that unhygienic habit of hers. So yeah, it's just me. That's my take on it.
Yeah, just it's funny because now part of me wonders if he tried the tactic about like, hey, let's shower together, and it didn't work, and he's all like, okay, man.
Oh, man, if only you watched this podcast before then you would have saved this relationship.
That's a good one though. That's a good one. Also, there's a lot of things. I'm not going to go into them all, but there's a lot of like these relationship thingies about like basically people testing people's limits during sex, and I don't think that's a time to like find out if your partner's into that kind of thing.
Oh, you're talking about like the who gives in first kind of thing. It's like who's gonna say oh no, we're not gonna do this kind of bit.
No, yeah, like basically a lot of people like trying like there's one where I'm going through a bunch of these, and like it's funny because I don't know if everyone had sex last night, because a lot of these are like I'm still going by like the chronological thingy, and so there's a whole block of them, the different people, and one's all like my boyfriend pulled my hair during sex last night. There's one where it's all like, oh, my boyfriend is like, you know, basically they're trying like quote unquote like, you know, playful kinky type things. Like I skimmed through some of these. The hair pulling wasn't like, yeah, you know, it was just like, you know, and there was another one that's a bit more graphic, basically like, oh, like he grabbed onto my head during something, you know, and stuff like that. Honestly, I'll say this, I don't think that like the time when something's happening is to like to test the limits. That might be something you should work out before. And I only covered that. I said I was going to cover some of the deeper shit, but I feel like that like no, consent's real. Like figure that shit out before. Like yeah, don't go for it and be like, if they stop me, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's what all these guys are. Actually, one of them was a girl. To be fair, one of them is a girl. Like, you know, doing things to the guy, but still.
Remember, relationships all about communication. That's always the important thing.
Exactly. Yes.
Like, and obviously you don't want to end up on one of these Reddit stories. You don't want to end up on anything. You know, you don't want to be don't be a fucking monster. Just figure this shit out before you start.
Don't end up on Live Leak or something. You know, it's like someone like key scratching your car or like tossing.
Did you know Live Leak shut down this month?
Yeah. No, yeah.
But you're the one who told me. I forget who told me, but somebody told me this recently, and I the past couple of days I've had some time off. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and random shit, and one of them was about how Live Leak shut down. And I'm just like, I'm so shocked.
Yeah, you brought it up the last time, saying like how they they started off as like a totally different company, and then,
what's hilarious is like I think I mentioned this last time too. News sites would even like get some of their footage or some of their news from these sites.
Yeah.
And I learned this from I learned this from one of the videos I was watching. This is a bit more dark, and I won't go into too much detail. But there are certain people who would like find out like even like some government agencies, and like people would be like, oh, they were getting their updates from Live Leak because like Live Leak was posting some shit, and it's all like, what the fuck? It just blows my mind like how weirdly, I don't want to say influential is a weird word, but I don't know what to say. Like that site was, and it's gone.
Because remember back in the day, news stations would pay you to pay for like, footage of the incident, of course. I mean, they probably still do it now, but you know, if they can find the video for free online, it's like that's free reign, you know, to
exactly.
Yeah, it saves them a buck or two.
But all those sites are gone, and the YouTube video I watched was actually some guy who was upset that they're all gone. But I don't know if I'm upset they're all gone. I'm just like, I just find it weird. I just feel like the internet. Oh, that's why we brought it up, because the internet's changing. But yeah, I feel like just the internet's changed.
Yeah,
it's me being a boomer.
That's a lot cancel culture. You canceled out Live.
Oh my god, I watched so many things on cancel culture. By the way, this is my really fast hot take for after watching literally hours of commentary drama videos. And it's so funny because most of it's like drama against themselves, like this little commentary community on YouTube just talking shit about each other, like not even about like outsiders. But my favorite thing watching it is people not realizing their own, like, I'm not gonna lie, we all do this, I think, when it comes to cancel culture, their own like hypocrisy.
Yeah, is
that they'll literally be all like, cancel culture bad, and then the next video is like, oh, can you believe they said this? Like they don't use the word, but they're basically canceling them.
Yeah,
and it's all like, this is literally what you do. It just blows my mind that they don't realize, and I don't think they realize. But anyway.
I mean, is it really cancel culture if you're just like leaving one side and jumping on the other side?
Like a pee-pee. But yeah, is it really? Sorry, what did you say about cancel culture? Is it really cancel culture?
No, because everyone's saying they're cancel culture, and like all they're doing is jumping on one side and agreeing to the opposite of what it is. Like somebody will be like a far right, and then they got canceled for whatever, and then they'll jump on the left side, and then vice versa.
Yeah,
like, you're always jumping on one side of the fence. You're not really canceled to a full. You're not fully canceled to a degree. You're just jumping on one side that's agreeing to what your belief or whatever view you're talking about.
And I'm pretty sure it's like my echo chamber working at me. But the most hilarious thing is, and people pointed this out other places too, it's like no one is ever really canceled because like the way the world works nowadays with the internet as it is, I don't want to like boomer or whatever, but it's true. The way the internet works, you'll always have a platform if you care about it or if you're big enough to to have one still. Like you'll always have it. You nobody can shut you up really. You just keep posting what you want to post. Either lean into it or back off, but you can keep doing what you want to do. So like canceled or not, like it doesn't really do anything at the end of the day. Unless you lose your job, lose your house, and now you're on the street and have no computer. But that's a whole nother story right there.
Just stay off of Parler and you'll be good.
Exactly, stay off of Parler. Like, don't go to Trump's like blog or whatever he has these days.
Does he even have a blog nowadays?
Well, he has a blog. Like that was his social media thing. He has a blog. People comment on it, and because I guess he couldn't afford to like
still up on.
Parler is apparently back, but now that they got like shut down, I don't know if it's back everywhere, but now that it got shut down because of like the hate speech or whatever, now they have to censor. So now it's like any other social media site, but it's like hardly used because of that now.
Yeah, exactly.
It was hard to use before, but now that they have to like crack down, it's like, okay, now you're just like now you're just bad Twitter. And I don't mean bad as in like people are saying bad things, that too, but I mean is bad as in like it doesn't work as good.
Yeah.
And no one's really there. But yeah, so Parler, I think I read that just a couple days ago, like totally randomly. I like going to Yahoo, by the way, because Yahoo. But you could tell they kind of cater to the boomer market. Well, first of all, they cater to both, but mainly the boomers.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of their front page articles will be like boomer related. It's like going to a less crazy Fox News. But I saw it on there, TLDR. I saw the Parler thing on there a couple days ago. Like, it's back, but do you want to go back to it? That's like what the article was like titled, clickbait like all hell. And then when you click on it, it's like, oh yeah, it's back, but now they have to like censor everything. Not censor, just not let you post like crazy shit. God forbid. I've been canceled, they say, on one of the most viewed. Exactly. That's what I always love about it. Like you somebody's on Fox News, which is like one of the biggest like viewed TV channels or whatever ever, and it's like, I've been canceled. It's like, yes you have, and I mean that obviously like jokingly. It's like, come on. Or they're on YouTube with their millions of subs, and they're like, I've been canceled. It's like, you can still keep talking.
Yeah,
no one's gonna stop. I'm not saying you should, or that I'll be here to listen to me personally. I mean, but
it's like, who's
just
gonna stop you? No, you're
yeah, exactly.
Complaining.
Nobody is.
Yeah, just keep at it if you want, or change. Do what you want. Do what you want.
Right, so
I'm gonna keep reading Dr. Seuss.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Back to. We'll do one more, then we'll move on to some other things. I'm not gonna lie, this has actually been way more like not only has it been more structured, but actually been way more informative than the other one we did. Because the other one we did on UPZ, I think we still had fun with this one, but this was a lot more jokey. It was like I think at one point Yara was even like, oh yeah, when someone don't do this, by the way. I'm just referring to a jokes thing that she said, not even me. If anyone go cancel Nyara. That she said on the UPZ, where we were talking about like idol stuff, about like becoming too much of a fan of someone. She's like, yeah, keep messaging them, even if they tell you to stop. Don't do that. Yeah. But anyways, don't do that. Don't do that. But she did say that.
Eventually, you'll find their love.
No, I think that was the whole thing. She's like, eventually they'll realize how much they like you. And then they'll respond. Or they'll call the police. They'll respond, all right, I think eventually. Yeah, they'll block you.
Just not in the way you think.
Yes. Like one way or the other. I'm sure they'll respond, whether it's blocking you, reporting you, or something. But yeah. But anyways, here's one. Is this guy interested in me or my bank account? Now, she what made me click on this one, I'm not gonna lie, what made me click on this one is that she went on she found a date with somebody on something called Hinge, and I googled it, and Hinge is another like dating thingy which I've never heard of. So that's actually the reason why I wanted to mention how, like, am I out of touch or is this a boomer dating app? But yeah, it's called Hinge. It's a dating app. It bills itself as the only dating app because it's like Tinder, but you want a long-term relationship. Never heard of it before. Anyways, she met this guy on a Hinge date. She's 26 female, he's 32 male, and TLDR, they hit it off. They went on the date, and I guess when they're talking about what her job was, he goes on to say, then he tells me he googled my job, googled her salary, which is over 100K, by the way, and he jokingly asked me if I'm trying to get wifed up, and basically, he just keeps going on about money, and now she's worried if it wants for money. It's like, what do you guys think? Am I valid for questioning his intentions, or am I overthinking and need to get off my high horse? Because the whole thing is, the whole thing is like she's like just to confront him, and I guess honestly, is there any bigger red flag if somebody starts saying weird shit on like T2?
You have to be an absolute like idiot if you think he's like, no, he seems to be fine. Keep going on dates with him. I'm sure he's a genuine guy. No, get out. You have to be a total.
He genuinely wants that money.
Yeah, exactly. So no.
I meant
my priorities.
Like get your life together.
Wait, did you mean Warren? Because I met Lauren when I was broke, so I know it's real. Oh yeah, it's funny. Should I bring? Anyways, Warren brings this up every so often. Warren's all like, "Yeah, she supports me." But anyways, it says Lauren.
Leslie in the chat.
Yeah, for supporting Warren,
and
Warren. Perhaps indirectly paying for my Netflix and Disney Plus. Well, actually, Warren has pointed out, he's like, "No, I pay for those," because I leech off of Warren, but age gap did seem a little weird. The guy's older than her and is after money. I'm not gonna lie, that could be me.
Sounds like you, boomer.
But then again, how do I say this? There definitely is. I mean, like, how do I say this like weirdly? Without sounding weird. How do I say this weirdly? I said the quiet part loud.
We'll figure it out.
No, I mean, like, because in my head I'm like, if I met someone and they had a really high paying job, I'm not gonna lie. Part of my brain would be all like, part of my lizard brain would be all like, hey, I wonder if I could quit my job if we got married. But I probably wouldn't. You're dumb. But I wouldn't tell her this, and I wouldn't make it a focus. And honestly, from what she describes, they hit it off really well in their texting and their first date. I would just roll with it, and it would just be an added bonus. It would be a bonus.
For you or for her?
For me. I'm not gonna lie.
So like,
okay. Honesty, okay.
Like,
I know honesty's key here. It's like, I bring the personality, you bring the money.
I've always told myself that, like, the person I'm going, if the person I date would, have to be independent on their own, like, and I also would have to be independent. I don't want either of us to like have to rely on each other in case something happens, kind of thing. Like, but we can rely on each other for certain things, of course. Like, that's totally fine. Like, if anything, the relationship is built upon like, just being with each other, enjoying each other's company and all that. And if it ever came down to like, one of us supporting the other because something happened, really would depend on how deep into the relationship we are, right? So, yeah, I would not mind being a house husband, that's for sure.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna say. Like, I think I fucking mind. It's like, hell no. It's like, hey, honey, like, how was work today? I don't fucking put me in a stereotypical apron. I don't fucking care.
Like, yeah, it's like, you do your thing, I'll do my thing. Like, I don't mind doing, because I think one of the things like I don't mind is because I also enjoy doing just housework and like taking care of the house.
That's the same thing. It's like,
that's just my thing. Like I can provide, I can do that. Like, that's cool.
I did think that it was a little odd when you think about the age difference. Mr. Taku is all going on about how he feels weird like liking someone who's like 2 years younger. Obviously, for those wondering, obviously there is a thing about liking about falling for certain age gaps. I'm not going to go into that, but as long as it's legal, I don't think age gaps are too big of a thing. I don't think it's a big thing in this one because it has to do with the money situation attached to. It's just like that would just be another red flag that it's somebody who's like 6 years my senior. Like if I was the girl, I mean, who'd be all like, oh, and this dude wants my money, you know, like. So yeah. Fun fact though, I remember when I was 22. I think this is one of the biggest age gaps I'd ever had in my relationship. When I was 22, I was with somebody who was 18. I remember thinking that was so crazy. And I think that's we were both so young. But I'm like, that was like 4 years, and I was just like, and we were together for 6, by the way. So it's not like I was love him and leave him, but we were together for a long time. But actually not 6 years. I think it was almost 5. But anyways, but still, and then since then, I've been with people who were like decently younger, so age gaps or whatever. And typically, not to get too like, oh, that's too patriarchal here, but typically an older guy with a younger girl isn't that unusual. So I guess
that's just like societal thing, like
yeah.
I mean, it's still kind of like a thing with like between like older women and younger, boys and stuff like that, or men. But yeah, it's definitely a lot like it's a lot more targeted towards older men and younger women. For sure.
Younger, all my girlfriends were like older than me. Like I remember, like my first girlfriend, probably legal. Well, it happened a long time ago. I'm not gonna mention her, but like I was like, she was like quite like not quite a bit old. Like she wasn't 30, but she was like 17, and I was like like 13 or something like that. So yeah, I was like, oh, someone's the cradle's robbing the cradle there. But anyways,
don't
don't make that joke.
Do not.
But I mean, it was what it was. I'm just my point to bringing this up is age difference. I have not been with an older woman since I was like an adult myself, though. I've been with people around my. We're talking about this, anyways. Age differences or whatever. My point to Mr. Taku is like 2 years is nothing. That's it. Especially when you're both adults. What even does a few years matter anymore? It's like you're
kind of like the same mindset.
Exactly. Like I think that once you're both adults, like anything within-ish a 10-year gap is nothing. When it gets beyond that, then maybe you're at a different stage of your life, quote unquote, and that becomes a bit more a thing to consider. But beyond that, it's like, what does it really matter? Don't think about age difference, except here when they want your money, and when it's illegal. But like
just depends on your mindset, between you guys. That's it's really just how it goes.
This dude definitely wants your money. Don't even talk to him. Just ghost him. I don't know how Hinge works. Apparently, because Hinge isn't Tinder. I would still ghost his ass.
It's like it just gives you your actual full number, email address.
I know. I was gonna say. Yeah. By the way, the top answer has some really good advice. It's upvoted like all hell. Don't tell people what you actually do. Don't discuss money. As in, I think they mean on the first date.
Yeah, no, or just at all.
That's true.
Like honestly, like if somebody asked me something, like it doesn't matter what I do, but like if it was a first date thing, I would still be vague. It's like, what do you do? Oh, I work in X field, whatever it is,
And then if they still keep pushing the envelope, and it's just like, yeah, no, that's not. That's definitely a red flag. It's like, no, but what do you actually do? How much money do you like? As soon as you hear that, it's like,
first date, you're just getting to know each other. You're not trying to like share tax statements. It's like
you're trading SSN numbers, or trying to figure out what the next 10 years of your life kind of thing. It's like, oh, wait, how can I evade taxes? So do you? Actually, no, that
happened to me a couple times too.
Some of these comments are like male gold diggers are very common. Watch out. There's a lot of these comments like that.
Yeah, of course.
I love this comment. I never heard this like this turn of the phrase. Oh, he looked up your salary. A red flag, but not Soviet level.
What?
I'm gonna use that from now on. That's a red flag, but not Soviet level.
That's great.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even care about the rest of the comments. Kind of stupid, but I just like to think that they said that.
Yeah, you should we should give our advice, and then you should tell us what the top comment is. I think that's a good. That's a good idea.
So what's our? Yeah. And, by the way, I was saying this earlier. I think this will be a regular segment, but we won't do like obviously 4 like we did tonight. We'll just pick one, and I will vet it. Like this time, I actually the first one, believe it or not, I did vet the one that was about the fucking the poly one. I actually did. I was like, this will be our first one. I already had that one open, and everything else I was like, I was skimming through, and I skimmed through it a bit. But I'll pick a good one. You know, I'll read it all, then I'll maybe even show everyone else. It'll be a bit older, or it has some updates maybe. But anyways, this will be a segment in future episodes. But what's our advice? What do you say, Weston? What do you say? What do you think you should do about the money, dude?
Bad? You want the good or you want the bad?
What's the bad?
Bad? Just surprising your partner with all in bed.
Wait, with what?
Just surprise your partner by not telling them in bed.
By not telling? Oh, you're doing a good bad thing. Oh, you're talking about the stories we did tonight. I'm sorry, I meant like advice on this story about the money thing.
Oh, the money thing?
But yeah, that was the bad one. Don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you're gonna do. You're just gonna surprise me, like, oh, I spent all your money.
Okay, that's not a surprise. That's called theft.
Pretty sure.
Hey, she was pretty surprised to me. So
I was gonna say, like, she'll be pretty surprised with my new car, my new house, and all this embezzlement.
As I drive away. But good advice. I'd just be wary of what you spend.
Yeah, like okay, like there's actually what well, I mean, you actually go first, and I was just starting to talk about. I forgot you haven't really said anything. What did you say, Jordan? That's a really big ass. Sorry.
Damn, boy.
She's thick.
She's thick, like.
She got a big tongue too.
Thick.
We're working on it. Don't worry. Just like just you gotta respect people and in their privacy. It's like if you you start building your relationship off of things like money and other things like instead of like actually the actual person, then it's gonna be a failing relationship, and then you're just gonna have a bad time both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, just like I already gave my advice earlier, that's red flag city. Just fucking ghost the guy. That being said, the other advice would be just to watch. Like, honestly, you shouldn't be sharing that much information on a first date anyway. And if the dude fucking like Googled you and LinkedIn you and like figure that shit out on his own, then that's a huge red flag. If you can't
figure that red flag out, you probably got to reevaluate some things in your
life
like
too.
You got to go on and ask people online.
That's a good advice. Always ask on social media or like
that's
a friend.
That's most interesting thing about me. So yeah. Well, the other top advice I already mentioned. The very first one was the one about don't tell people what you actually do. And if your gut is telling you to do something, then you're probably right. By the way, her gut's telling her to that this is wrong. So yes. And then everyone else keeps saying, go with your gut, go with your gut, go with your gut, go with your gut. Now, there actually is somebody but these are probably just trolls. There are a few people who are like, oh, like maybe he just wants to know if he'll be, if you guys will be able to financially maintain your relationship. And I'm like, dude, you figure that out later, like way later, not on the first date. If you, and then who would talk about moving in that soon anyway? It would still be like, that's way down the road.
Yeah, I mean, get your act together, dude.
Yeah. Anyways, that's that with that advice. Fun fact, there's all this talk in the chat about whose dad is the one. In the chat, my dad was 13 years older than my mom, and now her current BF is like 20 years older. It's like, oh, your mom likes the boomers or whatever. But what's funny is I had this I guess we can call her an ex, but I had this ex of mine who had a similar situation with their mom, and the mom was dating somebody really old though, craziest thing. I'm like, does he have? I don't even know. Like that was my first thought too. I'm like, does this dude was like in his 70s, and I'm like, and as far as I could tell, I'm like, I think that they already had money. So I'm like, does this person have more money? I'm like, well, what's the deal? Or was it just a mad like winter fall? Because she's not that young, obviously. A winter fall relationship where just like, I don't know. But then again, I always feel bad judging things like that. Like maybe they like each other. I don't know. But he was like 20. He was like 20 years your senior. My biggest fear is someone looking in. Oh wait, what is looking me up on LinkedIn? I've always had fear of people Googling me and shit like that. Not that it'd be hard to Google me because there's like a million people with my name.
Yeah, have you Googled yourself lately?
I have, and like I think the top hit. It's funny because for the longest time, the top hit was like some translator for like a mid-level manga company. I forget which one, but nothing you would know, like not Viz. And this was like years ago. And I remember I was like, yeah, that's me. I translate manga. That's weeby enough for me. And there's like of course it's like everyone's a doctor, so there's like a doctor in there, and like a few other things. Like for a common name, you'll definitely like the top hit will probably be someone like a doctor, just because of like they'll probably have their profile on the internet somewhere. I mean, profile is in like their name in a registry. I mean to say, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think we've all Googled people. Okay, I should say this. I say that, but I've never really Googled anyone. In my life, even when like that was more of a thing that people would say they would do, but I know that everyone apparently Googles everyone else, so it is a thing. I guess I've never done it, and I never really wanted to do it.
I only ever like check my analytics on Google because like
I check myself and I check A to J, but I never like really Googled anyone else. I'm like, why?
Gosh,
but
weird to do that.
But it's always a thing. Like people always like like about And there's always the myth about like people that were like jobs Googling you, and I guess some people would, but honestly that's a red flag also. Most people like I've never. Okay, admittedly I'm talking mainly retail stuff, but there's other stuff I've done as well. But I've never even so much as called someone's references. You think I'm gonna fucking Google them?
Yeah,
You're too old for that shit. I'm not Googling nothing.
Just do the interview, and if they're not horrible in most things, just give them a chance usually, unless like it's something you really need, and even then it's like get the best one. Who cares? It's like I don't know. Be a better judge of person. I don't think you need to Google anyone. That's more. I think that was just boomers talking in the 2000s. Maybe no one does it. Does anyone do it?
One of the best things you can do is just be a better judge of character. That's it. Just because. Sure you can do Googles and stuff like that, but like it's all like experience with talking to people, knowing people, being more social. That's how.
Your sword looks like it's coming. But anyways, keep going.
That's why I'm just like just know better. Like when it comes to situations like this, like a lot of these things come from experience too, but you'll figure it out as you go along for sure.
Yeah, I've had many. It's funny because usually, like, if anyone ever I didn't talk much about personal relationships here, but if anyone's ever heard me refer to my own personal relationships, I'm actually one of those people. And there's probably maybe there's like I don't think it's an insecurity thing. Maybe there's like some other reason, like internally, why I do this. But I usually actually try to not like beef up my side of any story. Like usually when I ever tell a relationship story of mine, I'm always like I say this happened, they'll probably tell you something different. I've said that many a time. I'm sure you've heard me say it here on FAP in the past. I'm like, I say this, they'll probably tell you another story. And I don't mean, and whenever I say that, I don't mean like as in like they're wrong and they're lying to you. I mean it like they probably just saw it differently. My point to bringing that up is like I'm the kind of person who's always like, yeah, all the relationship I did was my fault. I ruined everything.
He does often say that.
But it is pretty true, I think. So I'm like, there's a lot of it where I'm like, yeah, I fucked up. I'm not saying like I'm belittling it, but I'm just saying like I can't do anything about it now. Like in situations where I can, I've apologized, and I'm just like, that's it.
Just be honest. Just to be honest with who you are. It's like, well, what worked in the relationship, why it didn't work, kind of thing. And just a lot of self-evaluation. That's important. Get that out there.
But yeah. So our JAV actress of the week, and obviously we'll just be talking this not I might edit this and put a picture for on YouTube. I mean, yeah, for the YouTube version, I'll definitely do that. Actually, we're talking about Kaho Shibuya, and it's funny because I think we all know her, right, Weston? Right, Jordan?
I have private pictures of her that I do not share on my social media, and not the naughty ones. Not the naughty ones. I just have a picture of her and me, like at a con, because I don't.
Oh yeah, I think you showed me one. It is funny because I don't think I have a picture with her, even though I've been there. We interviewed her a couple times. And yeah, FYI, that's actually why I'm bringing her up. It's funny because I'm actually not a huge fan of her JV much, because if you ever watch, okay, I saw a really good article. I think it's like it wasn't. Well, I think it might have been a Kotaku article. Funny enough. But they were a lot more coy about it. But they're like, "Oh, something's wrong with JV," and it's a very clickbaity article. It's old too. It's like from 2014. And one of the things they mentioned how it's very fetishy, how and usually, and part of me feels like, oh, that should be celebrated. And I mean celebrating, if you watch a lot of GV, you'll see a lot of fetish stuff just front and center. It's not as niche-y as it is here in the US. But by that same token, people like Kaho delve into it a lot, do a lot of fetish work. And I just don't like some of the stuff. Even
we're talking
even though I joke about it a lot, there's a lot of Kaho Shibuya P stuff, and I'm just like, that ain't my cup of tea. And I've stumbled across way too many of her movies where it's just and mind you, it's gotten to the point with her especially, and there's other actors where they're kind of just known for this stuff, where they don't. It's not even it's not even a fetish video about that. It will just be in the middle of it. There's oh, she peed on that guy.
Did she pee or she squirt?
Both. Now,
because I like to differentiate. There's a two.
Oh, I don't know if that's a topic that I want to bring up one day, because me and Snakz actually argued this. I think we were on on one of the shits or something like that.
Because I always argue about people who say that it's pee. No, it's squirt. It's the same thing when a man climax.
Exactly.
You cannot say it's the same thing. You cannot say it's pee. No, it's the juice, not the lemonade.
The chemical makeup is very similar to pee, but we'll table that discussion for another day.
Okay, yeah, let's not bring this up.
And there actually, believe it or not, there is a genre of JV called male squirting, and that's actually what me and Snakz are talking about. And you might be like, isn't that just cum? No, male squirting is basically them peeing. Now that I'm pretty sure you could just be like, okay, that dude's peeing. But
that's just peeing. That's not squirting.
Specifically, what I am mentioning for Kaho is peeing. Now I know she does do it she squirts in every fucking video. That's a whole nother thing. I think she squirts in every scene. But but I'm talking about peeing. I mean, literally where she's on someone, and then she's just I'm gonna pee on you. And yeah.
No, not my cup of tea.
Exactly, and I've come across it a lot because that's why I've watched a ton of her stuff, and I just watched a ton of her stuff. I mean, not that I said the quiet part loud again, by the way. I didn't mean to say that twice. I meant to say.
Don't worry, we're all adults here. We're all adults.
Okay, whatever. I've watched a lot. I was trying to say that I don't watch a lot of her stuff, but whenever I do, X happens. But I guess I just said I watch a lot of her stuff, so we'll just leave it at that. Anyways, a lot of times I'll be watching it. I'm like, oh, that was a good scene. That was a good scene. Oh, okay, she's peeing on a guy. That takes me out of everything, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done. But anyways, my point of bringing that up is this is, and I ain't gonna judge anyone if you like that or whatever. That's obviously that's on everyone. It's whatever you want to do. As long as someone's getting hurt, do what the fuck you want. And it's legal. But yeah, so we've interviewed her a ton. What I find amazing is that she's really when we first started interviewing her, she was a lot more coy about the JAV-ness, because I guess she was a lot more I guess her being ex AV was a lot newer. I think at the time when we first interviewed her, I think that was at HentaiCon, and she had only just retired earlier that year. So
I remember that. Yeah.
I think the HentaiCon was in October and she retired in March, for example. Something around that time frame.
No, yeah, your time frame is right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was still fresh. So it was it's kind of we won't talk about that too much.
Yeah.
We did ask her about some funny scenes when she was shooting JV, but I've mentioned this before, and you can watch the interview. I'll link it on YouTube. She did mention her favorite, her funniest moment of shooting a JV scene, and I thought, and usually when we ask that question, we've asked it to other JV actresses or adult entertainment people. I expect a behind the scenes story, or like something like just funny. But she's like, oh yeah, when she was like, she did a tentacle scene, like a scene where they had like tentacles, like very slimy tentacles too. And she was just saying how like there was a point where a tentacle was being used on her, like however they do that. I've actually never seen behind the scenes how those are used, but anyways, that she kept getting like pushed into this wall, and she was just I think she was trying to imply that she found that very funny. She couldn't help but laughing at the ridiculousness of the situation. But me and the person who did the interview were both just like, that was funny to you. It was just the funniest funny story we've ever gotten, and by funny I mean weird, because it was like, what? Like you thought it was funny that the tentacles were like slamming you into the wall, but anyways.
I mean, it's just like it is that sounds super funny. I always think those jabs, like when they do stuff like that, is extremely funny.
Yeah, I guess at that point you got, like, I don't mean in a bad way, but at that point you got to wonder, like, what brought me to this? What brought me to the situation? It's like,
exactly. Your life when you're getting funds with the plastic tentacle.
Exactly, with a slimy plastic tentacle. It's like, well, what brought me down to this path? It's like, not that anything's wrong with that path. I'm just saying you might be thinking that, you know.
It's a thinker. It's what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, my point to bring this up is she's blown up, especially during the since the Rona happened. She started Twitch streaming, and what's funny is right before the Rona, actually not right before, but a few months before the Rona happened, like in late 2019, we were talking about doing a live stream interview, and it was so ready to go. It didn't happen because of scheduling, but we were like, oh, we'll table this, we'll do it after ALA. And ALA was in ALA 2020, because I think she was at that one, wasn't she? I don't remember. She was, but we didn't interview her there. But we were gonna do it after that, and we did talk to her about it, and we're like, okay, we'll do it in February, whatever. And then like we were still tabling, I'm not gonna lie, we kept postponing it, and then the Rona happened. And the Rona obviously was happening. She was here, by the way. I don't think she was in Japan, but she was here when it kind of happened. But it was like word was happening in Japan first. Obviously, it was happening during ALA that the Rona was starting. But so obviously it didn't happen. And I just find it funny that like I'm 99.9% sure that'll never happen. We will. I'm pretty sure if we see her at a con, there'll still be all hugs and smiles. And then we'll interview her there as well. But I think it's totally off the table that we do a live stream interview, or she ever appears on FAP.
No, yeah.
I just find that sad. Because like I've watched some of her Twitch streams. She has like hundreds of viewers, and she's getting like tons of tips everywhere, and people are like, she's having like a subathon and everything like that. So yeah, it's
She sounds great. She sounds like a great, genuine.
No, she's awesome, and she even I think right now, maybe I'll have a link to it if it's still active, because this is like going on right now, and I saw her tweet about it earlier today, that she's giving away her, because there's this theme park in Japan called SOD Land, like Soft on Demand. It's a porn company, JV company, and they opened a theme park. They opened it during the Rona, by the way. Gotta love that. But she visited it, and she's auctioning off her lanyard, I guess, like the lanyard she wore there. And I think that's a J-list thing. So yeah, if that's still active, I'll link to it. You guys should like join that contest. But I'm pretty sure it's still active. I think it goes on to like next month sometime. But yeah. Anyways, go watch her videos. She's awesome. Go watch her videos if you want to watch that stuff, or just go watch her Twitch. By the way, that's what I meant by her videos. I meant like her game streams. You go watch her JV too. And I was also going to mention that she's a lot more open with it now. She's done a lot more interviews recently, like it's in like the past year recently, where she's been a lot more open about like her JV-ness, about like what it was like, why she left, and nothing's bad in there. I'm just saying, like, she doesn't really harbor any ill will. She never implied that. She just didn't want to talk about it when it was still fresh, I think. But yeah, so it's whatever. It's not like you're being a monster if you want to go back and dig up her old JV videos and go enjoy those. But go check her out. She's awesome. I'm still loving her to death.
Good for her.
Yeah. Good for her for getting way beyond A to J.
I mean, she been wanting to do that since she retired that year.
Yeah.
And then she had a big old thing with at Anime Expo, I want to say, that year. And then, she was associating stuff with the publishers because she wanted to get into the manga and anime. And then prior to that, she was like, "Oh yeah, I want to start doing stream what do you call it stuff for anime that's coming up that year." and then be a representative of a company. So
no, it's funny because we interviewed her at that AX too, and I think the video version is only for Patreons because the audio is a little wonky. I should just publish it, but now I should just publish it just for the views. But it's not bad. It's not unwatchable. It's just that the audio is not like up to snuff because I had to use the camera audio because we interviewed her outside of the JW Marriott, so like there were cars honking throughout it, so I had to use different audio source because the original one you heard the cars honking, so and you can still kind of hear it. You can tell we're outside. You can tell because the video obviously that we're outside, but it's good. It's nicely lit because we were in front of the hotel though. But anyways,
you gotta upgrade your equipment if you're gonna do like on the scene kind of shots like that though. Gotta get that good audio quality.
Well, I was afraid setting up cameras inside the hotel. They probably wouldn't have stopped us because like the hotel was a hot mess during AX. But I didn't want to, so I'm like, we'll just do it here. And we had the couches open, like we'll just do it here. But retrospect, I wouldn't have done that. But anyways, my point mentioning is that in the interview, she did mention, I don't know if they followed through or not. Maybe Weston knows, but she was talking about like doing some voice acting work upcoming. She's like, oh yeah, I got some roles coming up, or I don't know if she was saying that she was doing them or trying out for them. She's like some voice acting shit. She was talking about streaming back then. Obviously it didn't happen until almost a year after that, but still she was talking about streaming even then. And
no, she was supposed to stream last year, but the thing is, like you said, the Rona kind of hit everything and it put everything to a halt because she had like booking appearances. She was promoting some anime she was supposedly going to be in. Some games she wanted to stream in her own social media, but Rona killed everything. Now she just does the Twitch thing for the time being.
Oh, sorry, I actually forgot we were live. Yeah, the theme park, by the way, SOD Land. It's it's more of a museum. The theme, like, mind you, Asia uses the term theme park a lot more loosely than we do. It's like you see shows, and by shows I mean like those kind of shows, and like peep shows. And
is it like a Disney show?
Yes, it's a Disney show. It's like the gadget stuff I looked up earlier, but but no.
Get your tickets.
And then beyond that, it's like a museum. It's not really like you don't go on like a giant condom and then like go through Hitomi Tanaka's like go around her boobs or something. No, it's not like it's nothing like that. Like I said, I'm pretty sure if they open that kind of thing here, we would just call it like a museum. But they call it a theme. It's SOD Land, so like it's in the title, and they call it a theme park. But I guess it'd be more accurate to call it a museum. Museum of titties. And what might be a weird coincidence? She seems to have been streaming. Oh, she did. She's been streaming River City Girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's funny because like I mentioned, Ms. Chucko mentioned Kaylee Mills, but yeah, Kaylee, one of our homies, one of Molly's homies, BFFs, and love her to death as well. She's one of the people in that, and not only has she been streaming it, but who publishes that game? But they've been retweeting her streams. It's just funny seeing her. Like, but that's actually what brought her to my attention again, because like last week, I'm like, what? So-and-so's tweeting about Kaho, and I'm like, what? How? And then it's because she's playing River City Girls.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's good.
In case you didn't know, by the way, she speaks perfect English. So if you ever go watch her shit, including the interviews we've done with her, it's all in English. So yeah.
Wait. What's her name?
Kaho, Kaho, Kaho Shibuya. Yeah, as Shibuya as in the region in Japan, but yeah. I'm sure you've seen her or like indirectly at things. You probably just never like knew who she was like directly, but yeah. Big titties.
I had to make sure of something.
But anyway, I had to make sure she was the person I was checking out. We'll skip some of the around the ecchi internet stuff for time, but I wanted to mention real fast. There's a bondage artist, like her name's her name. It's actually a guy. Sorry, I think the artist though is, I think the pictures are of girls though. I don't know why I wrote this as her. But anyways, Hajime Kiroko is doing some bondage art and they're selling them as NFTs. And I thought that was wild because now NFTs are entering like
NFT.
Like I keep hearing that term everywhere. Because you know what an NFT is, non-fungible tokens, the whole thing that's been taking over the internet. Everyone's all like, oh, they're selling that picture as an NFT and it's worth millions of dollars. But yeah, I just find it funny. It keeps like
the thing you can buy with Bitcoin and stuff like that.
It's usually done through Ethereum, and then you buy it like it's a blockchain thing, you know.
I should do that too.
Yeah, everyone's been doing that. It's the new hot thing to do. Honestly, I think it's stupid money. It's just in a boom right now. So get your money now. I mean, it'll definitely always be there, and it'll probably always be worth money. But like, it's never like people are stupidly wasting millions on this shit.
Of course.
But I did want to mention the Edo Get recommendation of the week. This is funny because another streamer, not Kaho, she hasn't played this at all, but I've been seeing a lot of people stream this recently, and I've known about it forever, but I've been wanting to play it so bad. I wanted to talk about Moemon real fast.
Moemon?
Isn't that cute Pokemon?
Yes!
Yeah, that was the weird... The girl one, right? The one.
The little kitty Pokemon.
Oh, I've never seen Pleiades in the chat before. Like, when he's not streaming. Yeah, Pleiades has that. Pleiades nailed NFTs on the point there, and crypto trading cards. It really is. They really are.
Right. That's what they're called.
That's right.
Oh, WayForward. Sorry, I'm reading the chat now. But again, WayForward are the ones who retweeted it. They're the ones who published or developed or whatever. River City Girls. They were the ones retweeting Kaho, and it blew my mind that I saw the tweet.
They did the Scott Pilgrim one, right?
Yeah. Well, they re-released the Scott Pilgrim. Yeah. I'm not sure if they. Yeah.
And you can play that one too. River City Girls. I was like, oh yes, please.
Good game. They're all good games.
Yeah.
What else was there? Oh yeah, so Moemon's the anime waifu version of Pokemon. That's probably the best way to describe that. Waifu? Well, honestly, I saw some of the pictures and like I think there's even been some call to like should this game be limited on Twitch because apparently some of the art's but
it's a little risque if I remember.
Yes. Like I said,
but people are streaming it. I don't know if there's a safe for work version out there because when I first heard about it, it was always under the context that it was a sex game, and I was kind of confused because I'm like, wait, is this like one of those Flash games? I mentioned it's funny because me and Pleiades were talking about Flash. Yeah, and I was talking about how there was this Zelda Flash sex game I used to love, but I can't find any. First of all, even if I found it, it's whatever because Flash is gone. But I couldn't find it when Flash was still around, and typing in Zelda sex game does not help. Because there are like million, But I wanted that one. But TLD, I kept thinking, like, is that what the Pokemon one's like? But no, it's a hack. It's a hack of Fire Red. Well, okay, I googled it before like earlier this morning, just like to find the ROM to like just for the fuck of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a safe for work, not safe for work, but there are other versions for sure. So, but the one I think is the most popular main one is a hack of Fire Red.
Yes.
Now I do think there's other hacks and there's a bunch of demos out there, but other people have taken the Moemon thing and run with it. But the original one's a Fire Red hack. Like shout out to Warren, by the way, who's not playing Moemon, but he's playing another Fire Red hack called like Team Rocket Edition. Yeah.
That was cool.
Shout out to Warren for that. But if you want to watch that, he's doing it on Thursday. I think he might have beat it though. He beat the Elite Four, but this post game. But anyways, but yeah, it's the version of Pokemon where like they're all like hentai. They're basically hentai. By the way, did you guys see there's a game on Switch? It just came out, and I it's not porn, and I'm pretty sure it's not even that bad as some other Switch games, but it's called like something versus hentai, and it blows my mind that a game is on a Nintendo console that has the word hentai in it.
Well, I mean, think about it. It's also like normal. It's probably normal in Japan, but probably not normal here in the West.
No, I don't know if you guys know this, but the hashtag is banned on most social media sites.
You mean on the
like yeah, like if you went on Instagram and you posted a picture of yourself like as a Bible Black character, you put hashtag hentai. If you click on it, it's not a change. But if you clicked on it before in the past, it wouldn't go anywhere. And it would tell you that's like not. It wouldn't stop you from using it. Yeah, but basically, it's one of those. It's banned, and it's like that on most other sites, or it used to be. This might be different now. This was like up until kind of recently, because I got into an argument with a friend of mine, and I'm not gonna lie, I got dunked on big because of this. I was trying to defend that something wasn't hentai, but whoever made this post that I was defending, they had used the hashtag hentai, and the person pointed it out to me. It's like, you can't even use the hashtag they're using. You're trying to tell me it's not porn. And I'm like, okay, I lost this fight because of a technicality, but just because fucking this person had to use a thing. It's called hentai versus evil. I don't know if someone put that in the chat already. Like, no fucking, there's a version of Pokemon switched out with Yu-Gi-Oh monsters.
Oh, that sounds awesome. That sounds real funny. I would love to play that. if I ever found it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a better way to describe it. All the Pokemon are Gijinka, which is like that's a term I have not heard in a while, by the way.
That's an old hat term, like old hat.
Yeah. It's a real word in Japanese. It's a portmanteau, but it basically means they're like human versions, you know. Yes.
We
but
only use like Bakemono or like things like that nowadays.
Exactly. I haven't. Yeah, Gijinka. I'm saying that so like a fucking weird, but Gijinka is like such a old, like that feels like an old term I used to remember coming across like Tumblr a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels like it feels like you use that everywhere in the old days, but that feels like that just brings me back to Tumblr, to the porn Tumblr days. But anyways. Remember when Tumblr had porn? When Tumblr was all porn? Not that much longer, and we're actually towards the last topic. Well, we got like 20 more minutes, but yeah.
I'm like done with this.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
Where's the chicken? This is the hot chick.
Hold on. Oh, I'm not done. You're right. Sorry. Hold on.
You know what this kind of looks like, but she has smaller titties? Have you guys ever played Dragon's Crown? It's a Vanillaware game. The people who did like Odin Sphere. The black mage just says this chick has like just really huge titties, and I mean like stupid huge, where they're just like bigger than her head huge. I think it's called, is it called Dragon's Crown? Vanilla. I'll look up Vanillaware, because Vanillaware is the company who did it. Vanillaware. It's called. Oh shit! Because they did Odin Sphere. Kamaitachi. It's called Dragon's Crown. If you Google Dragon's Crown and then like. Witch? I don't know what she is. A mage. If you Google Dragon's Crown though, she's on the cover. And like it's funny too, because to be kind of like equal opportunity. Like there's like the guy warrior who's also like stupid buff. Like he's like 26 pack, you know, like just muscles on muscles. And then the chicks are all like boobs on boobs.
Makes sense.
But
you have to attract the audience somehow, right?
She's a sorceress, by the way. But yeah, she has like big titties, but it's also funny. She's like a tiny head, so she always just looks really weird to me. But
I try to think about proportions when I try to do my drawings. Super important. All right, now I'm done.
Female chicken cosplaying as that punk rocker female artist. Pokemon Gijinka is so fucking cool. Yeah, it's Dragon's Crown, and Mystery got it. Dragon's Crown.
Chicken. Do you like it? It's satisfying.
She has a big cock. Exactly. But hold on.
We've met the quota. We've met the quota.
Well, anyway, let's all play Moemon. I want to play Moemon. Everyone go look it up. I'll have a link to the Pokemon fan site that has a legit link to Moemon. Maybe I'll find. I need to look up if it's a safe for work version or a not safe for work version, because I don't want to start streaming that like on something and it's like, ah, shit, there go the titties. There actually is there's like, I don't know if anyone ever did this when they were younger, for like yesterday, but back in the day, I used to love downloading like whole complete ROM sets for consoles. And I remember I downloaded a complete ROM set for Game Boy Color, and with the hundreds of licensed ROM, with the hundreds of Japanese ROMs, hundreds of European ROMs, whatever, there'd be a folder that said unlicensed, and it would have all the homebrews or the hacks or the whatevers. But in there was like hentai and hentai 3D or some shit like that, and all they were like these like loops of hentai animation that I guess were playable on Game Boy. But I remember I opened one of those because this was a long time ago, and I don't think I knew what the term hentai was, because like I was literally like in high school, and I remember I opened that in front of my then girlfriend, and she got really mad at me. That's my hentai story. She got really mad at me, and I still remember it because it was like this anime. It's like this very short loop of like this chick getting like fucked from behind, but the chick had like big anime titties, and she was also like a cat girl, because of course she was. And
familiar.
And I'm pretty sure
is that a classic one or what?
Yeah, well, I downloaded this like ages ago. So this ROM, I'm sure. Well, I mean, it literally was over a decade ago. So yeah, this is a long time ago. Like the game, the Game Boy Advance was out, was still like a new thing when I was downloading these ROMs. And I just remember opening it because I was curious what that meant, and I was like, oh, it's porn. And my girlfriend got really mad at me. She was very anti-porn.
I can't help it.
But yeah, and I was like, I didn't know. And she's like, delete that now. I didn't delete it. I think I just yeah, okay. Then took out the recycle bin later.
New relationship advice to each your own.
Yeah, like that's bad relationship advice right there. Lying to the significant other. That's not why we broke up, but I'm pretty sure that would have caused another fight if she's found it back on my computer like next week or some shit like that. Just keep lying. Dig that hole deeper.
Dude, I did it. I made a art box cover for a video game for the new Zelda Mega Man series.
Zelda Man.
Yeah, Zelda Man.
Zelda is thick.
Yeah,
Oh look, I guess we'll skip the con memories thing in brief. Honestly, we don't even need that. I was just gonna say I'll just leave it at this, and I'm gonna take some shots of this later on. Rest in peace, Fanime 2021. It's still technically happening online, but in the better world, this would have been Fanime 2021. It's so sad that it's been 2 years since the last Fanime, and it'll be 3 until we finally go back to it in person. And I already have friends who are like, oh, I'm already moving. I know I'm moving, and I'm like, ah, shit. Like Rachel says she's moving, and she's not going to be here for Fanime next year. So I'm like, guess I'll never see you again. Like in person, I mean.
Again either. I'm sick and tired of you, Manuel.
God damn! I thought we loved each other.
I did it. Don't get it twisted.
So we're back at the Jordan's art recap, I guess. Nobody was here when we started earlier. I think Mystery was here actually. The art prompt was that we were going to do something with the cock in it, and I guess medieval. My thing was medieval, and then it's like we had this whole thing about medieval chicken boo. I don't know why I said that, or maybe someone else said it, and then it's like, oh, it's a cock, so that's why it's medieval. I wrote medieval in the script. I don't know why I did that. I'm like, something medieval. I just think it just came to me. Oh, because I think I've been playing a lot of Fire Emblem. But
oh yeah, that's right.
So I'm like, something medieval because it was on my mind. And also I got an email. I think yesterday that Medieval Times is opening up again. Like our Medieval Times, the one in Anaheim. I'm pretty sure, depending on what state you live in, it probably never closed. But the one in Anaheim, or Brenna Park to be more accurate, is opening up. I think in 2 weeks, because everything opens up, by the way, in California June 15th. Fun fact. But hope you're all vaccinated.
Yeah, but, Boomer, are you vaccinated?
I am. Well, technically, I'm not. I'm still waiting on the waiting period. But yes, I am.
Wait, you're on the waiting period, but you're not.
No, I mean, I'm on the waiting period where it's 14 days after the second one. I just don't want to publicize it because I still I still don't want to go out. But then again, real fast, I talked about this before. The goopy gremlin part of my brain is all like, Manuel, go to the con. Go to the con. There's like an inner gremlin. I joked about this on the UPZ that the Bill Gates microchips have woken up and they want me to go to the con, go to any con and get the Rona, because I was like, I can go to Texas this weekend because there's a con in Texas happening. Like, it's Texas, so it's totally happening. But yeah, technically equals I fully vaxxed. Wait, I'm fully vaxxed. There's a waiting period.
Yeah, there's a waiting period for the second.
Should have gone with the Demon Girl instead. It works. The Legend of Man. You gonna put the Mega Man?
Legend of Zelda.
No, we was just but yeah. So and then it turned to this, and he had drawn. He had already drawn. Yeah, that's a word. It just doesn't sound right to me.
No, that's a word. Yeah,
it's a real word. I don't know why It's like fingers. Anyways, have you ever drawn? Oh, wait, he already drew the Mega Man Zelda thing, the Link thing.
Exactly.
And so yeah, so that's why they're together. The Legend of Mega Man. There we go.
Look at that. That looks good.
Actually, that's really good.
Is good.
Wow.
But yeah.
Like
so, do you have an ecchi manga recommendation? I sprung this on you, Jordan. If you have anything quick.
I do. They recently came out with this. Hold on.
We'll give you the numbers, the N-hentai code.
I just recently saved.
Let me get ready to note this.
Hold on.
Chip syrup whip. Drew. Drew, drawn is I don't think is a word, dude.
All right.
Yeah, Drew is a past tense. Yeah.
Drew is a past tense. Drawn is a word too, because like drawn to life. I know it's like a show. And drawn
together. Yeah. Drawn together. Okay. Let's see. We're looking for like a medieval times one. So
I think drawn to life is also a script, not scribble knots. What's that game called? Anyways, whatever.
I wonder if I posted this one. I don't think I have. Forget it.
What the numbers?
This one.
Chip,
okay, this
syrup, whippoo.
Hold on.
and I love that because the cocks there, it makes you feel like the cuckoos, however you pronounce that they're going to be a much bigger part of the series in this game.
Exactly.
The cuckoo helps you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we were before we went live, we were talking about the Warriors games, the Muso games, and we were talking about the Legend of Zelda. This is Zelda, not Zelda. It's called Hyrule Muso, Hyrule Warrior. Sorry.
Oh, I just found a better one.
And in the original Hyrule Warriors, not the one that's a prequel to Breath of the Wild, in the original Hyrule Warriors, there's a lot of original characters in that one, like, ones that were made for the game. And one of them is Linkle, who, even though it seems like it's a female Link, they still exist co-in-universe, and it's just another character named Linkle. It's a female Link with a bow, though, like a crossbow. But her thing is that she's like a farmer with cuckoos. I think it's cuckoos. Anyways, and one of her special attacks is she gets all the cuckoos to attack you, like to like the way when you hit them too many times, they all fly at you. She does that as one of her whatever you call those limit breaky type attacks.
There it goes. There's their numbers:
219-610.
The same artist also does. She goes on both spectrums. So.
Anti 219. Ooh, 610. Oh. Wait.
Oh shoot.
Oh, Hyrule. It's a Zelda one.
Yeah, it's a Zelda
one. Is this the one that has Legend of Dad Ass? The one that
Is that the one? Is it? No, it's a different. No, I don't remember actually.
Because it looks well. Anyway, there's a picture I was sharing. Everyone's like Legend of Dad Ass, and everyone I sent it to. And mind you, I wasn't trying to be like, I just like the picture because it said Legend of Dad Ass, and it was like Zelda with the huge ass, and that was a meme even before, it was the Breath of the Wild when she's like on all fours. It was the whole meme where like Link's staring at her ass.
There's another one. I don't know if it's the same art style, but I
sent that to so many people, and everyone was all like, yeah, I know that one, and I'm like, what the fuck? Everyone knows where this came from but me. Legend of Dad Ass.
You're just old hat, Manuel. You just came back. And you just had nothing to provide to this conversation.
Cuckoos is a different kind of hentai, I think. Physical. Udanya, anything Monster Hunter related. Is it Udanya like another hentai? Anyways, I know Udanya is one of them. But let's wrap this up. I think that's the last thing. Like I said, rip anime, rip everything. Upcoming stuff. I mentioned it's funny because we kind of joked about this. Before it went live, we're still under 10 episodes. Like, this is episode, I think this is actually episode 9 technically. So it's 8, but we had 0. But so this is episode 9. We're still under 10 episodes, but I love that I've said hopefully we'll be normal, like it's referring to schedule. I said hopefully we'll be normal from now on, and I said that like 3 or 4 times in an episode. So it's just like
multiple instances where it wasn't normal at all.
Honestly, just keep an eye out for us. We'll try to be bi-weekly, but it is what it is. See you soon eventually is what I would want to say. But no, hopefully we'll be bi-weekly from now, which is, I know this actually brings us back to the original week, like the original Friday, because I kept making the joke that we moved to the off Friday because of that time we skipped a week, but now we skipped another one. So now we're back on the normal Friday. So hopefully, why did I write this? Next FAP will be on June 11th, and I put Zod willing instead of God willing, as in Zod. Oh, I wrote Zod because Kentaro Miura. Rest in peace, Kentaro Miura. Yeah. But you can tell what I wrote this. By the way, you don't know who Zod is. Zod's the character from Berserk. The big horned god who becomes that other guy when he Nosferatu Zod when he joins the band. But anyways, if you're on YouTube, I never say this on anything, but I mentioned in the past that we actually got a lot of YouTube interaction lately. I don't know why. I don't have a phone, so I didn't see it right away. Oops. But if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yes, subscribe because we're cool like that. And make this parasocial relationship go on further. I love you. I love you, person who's watching this. I love you. Yes, you, Jake. Yes, you personally. I love you, Jake. Yes.
Why are you talk so far away from the mic?
No, because someone's out. No, because someone needs me. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Right. Don't. No, let's end the stream now so that we can go do your thing.
No, I'll be right back in 1 second because there's some more stuff to say. Keep talking for a minute.
All right, so here we are. This is now my podcast, and
finally you got rid of the boomer. Now everything will go up.
Exactly. So the reason why Manuel had to go was because it fell off again. And if you're a normal viewer here, then you understand that what it means to have fallen off. So we don't need to go into detail. It just happened. He'll be back, maybe with some cortisone, some Vicks, and the priest. So don't worry about that. That'll happen in a bit. Updates. Anything new with you, Weston?
I've just been social distancing since I'm fully vaccinated. Actually, today is my 2 week grace period for my second dose. Thank you. And I just want to say that people just don't be scared about it. Just try to gently like talk to people about it. Like, you know what? I took the shot. Maybe you won't get no side effects of it. Maybe you will, but we really want to. We still want to practice social distancing, wearing a mask, even when we're vaccinated. We're trying not to be at a time where we're getting our friends, our family sick, because everything can start opening up pretty soon. I'm grateful that everything is opening up because that means business is going to be opening up. The economy is going to start going back up. Everyone's going to start.
Okay.
Everything's going to start back to a peaceful, normal way.
Yeah.
But yeah,
all working together, trying to fix a lot of things even before the pandemic. So let's
baby steps. That's all we can do.
Well, Zod willing. Anyways, support us on Patreon, patreon.com/ShitDigitConnections. So, sub to us here on Twitch and love us.
Any shout out to our Patreons?
Especially you, Jake. Oh, shout out to our patrons, Ed, Kenneth, and Joshua. But you, Jake, I love you especially, Jake. I really hope it's a Jake watching. If not, then you should, Jake.
A Mike, a Paul. We all love you.
Yeah. You're all special. Tomorrow is the DTL anniversary, so please tune into that tomorrow at 6 p.m. It's been a year. Technically, I think I found out that last week was the episode, but this is the weekend, if that makes any sense. I mean, last week was the more closer to the actual date of the year, but I considered the anniversary Memorial Day weekend, and that would be this weekend. It's just, that's the way calendars work. So technically last week was the anniversary, but we'll just consider this anniversary end of the month. But yeah, so tune to that. That's at 6 p.m. tomorrow. That being said, I think all the streams are going to be dark next week, except for the Wednesday gaming ones. Just because, UPZ because Nyaro can be there, and then Friday and Saturday I'm taking those both off. Drink Talk Learn might happen without me. I need to talk to everyone, but it might happen without me. So if you like DTL, it might still happen. Just I won't be on it. And
boo.
Thank you everyone for watching. Vapor Rub Heals everything with all this. Everyone, thank you all for watching. This has been
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna go.
See you all later.
See you all later. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe. Thank you everyone.